Hi, my name is Niall Heery. I'm the co-writer and director of Gold, which just screened at the Irish Boston Film Festival right now.
Thank you. I had a few questions about the film. So I noticed while I was watching that you managed to very nicely juggle themes of fatherhood, masculinity, mental health. Was there anything about those themes that you wanted to come through specifically for this audience?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was very much a film, but it was a film about fatherhood, and it was a film about parenthood and what it means to be a parent. I mean, you have the main character. I mean, it's really Ray's journey, and him, his journey and him learning to value his own existence through his relationship with his daughter. So that was the key notion when I started to write it.
And I noticed that there were quite a few issues with naming in this film. So is he the name of the father? So I thought that was fascinating. And how was it juggling that when you were filming?
How was it juggling the characters' names?
Well, I think you beautifully conveyed that it was a difficulty for him to actually be a father and to have that name of father. Biologically, obviously, he is the father.
No, absolutely. He's a guy who, when we meet him, he's not really equipped to deal with it, and we know
be a father,
and we know from his history that when his daughter was born, he really wasn't able to come up with the things that a father is supposedly meant to provide, and i.e. a home or kind of a salary or kind of. So he was somewhat ill-equipped, but the film really is his journey and his relationship with his daughter and him learning what it means to be a father, and he kind of it's difficult for him, but he comes through in the end, I guess.
And that's exactly the insult that Frank gives him right before he falls in the river, which I find fascinating.
Yeah, precisely.
So how do you see the balance between those two characters as father figures and as having their own names?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either of them are perfect as far as fathers. I think they both struggle in terms of kind of providing what it is what they need. Mm-hmm. But again, that's their journey. That's the journey they go on. And kind of I think they both have something to offer. I think with Ray, he's probably spent the last 10 years thinking about about his ex-partner and daughter.
Yeah.
But he thinks he can probably be part of that family, but in fact what he really needs is to move on, and he needs to create a family of his own, and his daughter can be part of that.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. And what do you think about filming for a Boston audience?
Well, I don't know. I think I was really happy with the screening tonight, and it seemed to be really well received. So I was very happy with the way it went. And
how would you like to convey Irishness to a Boston audience? I mean, it's a very specific audience.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think when I was making the film, I wasn't specifically trying to convey a specific notion of Irishness. It was just a story that I felt was kind of universal, albeit set in Ireland.
And that seems to be your choices in the landscape also, how they were specifically Irish, but also generally anywhere.
No, it could have been, absolutely. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for speaking with me.
Not at all. Thank you.